Welcome to Talkin' Shit. I'm your host, Eddie Ifft. It's still talking shit. Trying to get Shreddie started. I'm really excited for the new podcast that's going to be coming out soon because it fits in the whole ecosphere of everything that I'm doing. You know, I'm not just a comedian. I'm a different kind of comedian. I like to do a lot of other stuff other than just stand-up. I love stand-up, and I've been doing it for 29 years, and I go perform in clubs every weekend. But I have a lot of other hobbies. I like to mountain bike, I like to ski, I like to surf, I like to do ultra runs and hikes and climb mountains and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's going to kind of include all of that. It's kind of a joke, Shreddie, you know. And so that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. Just trying to get the cameras all ready, looking for a new studio in Malibu. I want to have it in Malibu. I like being here. It's pretty easy to find interesting people in the Malibu area. It's a town of weirdos and you know, people that are into the outdoors and into high performance, and usually some really successful people too. So that should be good. Now, tour. Right now, as I speak to you, I have COVID. Who has COVID? I have COVID. I felt like shit yesterday. I mean, shit. It's probably, I think, the third or fourth time I've had COVID. Traveling as often as I do, as much as I try to stay healthy, eat right, sleep right, and do all those things, it sucks. It sucks when you're waking up at 3 in the morning to catch a flight at 5 in the morning and you couldn't sleep the night before because you were still amped up from your show. It gets difficult. And so I didn't realize how much my immune system gets compromised when I do that kind of stuff. So usually about once a year, once every 2 years, I get hit with something. And so got COVID. Yesterday I felt like death, headaches like I've never felt. I don't like to take drugs ever, and like I'm a supplement guy. Those are my drugs, supplements. But I took some Tylenol for the first time in probably, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, and it worked. Yeah, I was tired of it. I was like, I gotta get rid of this. Let's see what works. So I'm feeling a lot better today. I think I'll be out of it tomorrow. The other times that I've had COVID, it only lasted a couple days. So maybe I do have a good immune system. What else was I gonna tell you about it? So COVID, I literally thought it was gone. I was like, I haven't heard of anyone getting COVID like a couple of years. And then all of a sudden, I knew it. I knew because of the headache. And I took the test. And then I'm like, this test must be wrong. So then I took the test again. And then I showed my friends, and every one of them, I just showed a picture of the test. And they went, oh, you pregnant? Do you remember, though, when you got COVID during the pandemic and you were like, am I going to die? And a lot of people did. I like to make jokes about things that are really serious. So I'm sitting here with COVID, and I was like, shit, I didn't do a podcast this week because I felt like shit. But I'm doing it. I'm doing the podcast because I'm trying to create this community. You know, it's these like middle-aged guys, women who are fighting the battle, trying to stay in it, trying to like, it's so hard. Family, friends. I mean, I see why a lot of guys just get fat and drunk and sit on the couch and watch TV. I don't blame you. Part of me wants to do that. But then every once in a while, I'll break free and I'm like, oh, I want to go on a 100-mile running race. And then I'll start training for it, and about halfway through, I'm like, no, I want to be that fat guy on the couch. I want to watch football. So I'm torn, but somehow I make it through, and I still find a way to go on my little adventures and want you to come along with me. Shows were in Boston this week. A lot of fun. Boston, great town. Great town. I wish I was there in the summer months. I'd like to go do all the history shit, you know, like go like on Paul Revere's walk or, you know, the Freedom Trail and see the boat that they threw the tee off in the harbor, and so much history in Boston. It's such a cool city. I feel like I gained 20 pounds just drinking or eating clam chowder. Drinking, it's like I drank it, but that must be the most fattening thing in the world. It's pretty much all I ate, and I think I gained 20 pounds. I might sound a little stuffy. You want to hear my regimen for COVID? Here's my regimen. I take Andrographis. If you're wondering what Andrographis is, just look it up. It's an antiviral, it's a supplement, who knows. I think they call it Andrographis panicula or something. It's got some long name. There's a little bit of clinical evidence about it. I take vitamin D, always take vitamin D because I'm traveling, I'm not out in the sun, and I have to worry about the sun because I got basal cell carcinoma ripped off me last week. I have 5 stitches right here. I'm a mess right now, people. Yeah, I got it's skin cancer, but it's not melanoma. It's basal cell carcinoma. And underneath this Band-Aid is 5 stitches. Underneath those 5 stitches are 2 more stitches. I think my doctor was Dr. Bierman. She was incredible. She did the Mohs technique where I think they like cut a piece out, they go analyze it, and then if there's still more cells in there, they come back and cut another piece out, and then they keep doing that. I only had to go 2 rounds. But I was an ocean lifeguard for a bunch of summers when I was in college, and I worked down in a place called Stone Harbor, New Jersey, and the sun would come, and it was East Coast, the sun would come this way and go around this way during our 8-hour shift. And so I assume the worst part of the day, sun rises in the east, sets in the west. I assume that I was getting bombarded because I have wrinkles here. I have, I'm going to sneeze. I have basal cell there. Use your sunscreen. Achoo! Achoo! Not editing this out. I'm quarantined to my room and then the deck. I can go out to the deck. And my wife leaves me like food and drinks at the door. We got 2 kids. We don't want to get them sick. But I have, so I take Andrographis. This is my protocol for trying to stay healthy. I do this a lot. Little things come in and out depending on what. So I take a lot of vitamin D. I forget how many I use. I think 1,000 or 2,000 I use. Sometimes I'll take like 5,000 if I get crazy. Andrographis, that's an antiviral. I'll take NAC. NAC is a amino acid that is, I think it makes your mucus less viscous, if I'm correct. You know, like more watery. It also is the precursor to glutathione. So it helps with your immune system, helps with your liver, helps with your lungs, decongestant kind of thing. So I take NAC, a lot of that. And then I'll take my magnesium and L-theanine. I just take that to help me sleep. That calms your brain and your muscles. L-theanine for the brain, magnesium for the nervous system and the muscles. And then I'm drinking a lot of Element, LMNT. That's Rob Wolf's. Rob Wolf makes my favorite electrolyte that there is. Apparently it's like the same contents of an IV, what they have, the same amount of potassium, sodium, magnesium. So I'm taking a lot of that. I love that. I drink that all the time anyway. Just put some powder into some bubble water, as we call it here at our house. And it's, that's keeping me well hydrated. Maybe that's why I get through. And now I'll probably go up there into the woods and go for a hike alone in a little bit to just get my blood flowing. But maybe that's why I get through sickness in a couple days. Maybe not. Maybe I just have a good immune system. Maybe I'm bad. Who knows? Just some ideas for you. But had shows this weekend coming up in Fort Worth, Texas. They are canceled, not because of my COVID. They're canceled because of the snowstorm that's coming in. There's a massive snowstorm that's going to hit Texas. And you know Texas people. Like anywhere down south that snow or ice hits, they lose their minds and they batten down like it's the end of the world. I grew up in southwestern Pennsylvania where it was just a normal day for us. You know, like I grew up, I think I learned to drive in the snow. We used to do donuts and hit, snow banks. You know, my friend had a car we called the faux pas, the fucking piece of shit, where we would drive it straight into snowbanks or go into parking lots and just do donuts. So we learned how to drive in the snow really well. And we got stuck a lot. We got stuck a ton. About 4 years ago, I went to Hawaii, went down to see a friend of mine that was surfing at Jaws, and I drove down this dirt road. It was clay that said 4x4 only, 4x4 only, 4x4. A lot of people were driving Polarises down it, and I took a Ford Explorer rental car that I think was two-wheel drive. And my wife was like, "Are you sure this is okay?" And our son was in a rear-facing baby seat. And she's like, "You sure this is okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're fine." But I knew at a certain point we weren't fine, but I'm like, we might as well get there. Like, I'm going to be fine going down. It's getting up. I'm never going to get out. So on the way up, I made it as far as we'd get, and we didn't get out. And everyone was laughing at me. You know, like every Hawaiian was like, "Well, you know, like, don't you read the signs, man? What are you doing?" People were telling me, they're like, "Your car's going to get stuck here forever." One guy's like, "I'll tow you out, man." He had this big truck. He's like, "I'll come and get you, but I just washed my truck. It's going to be $1,000. It's like, $1,000? $1,000? I'll just call the rental agency and say the car got stolen, you know, like, and leave it here. But it was, I believe it was my birthday too. It was my birthday. And my wife was just, she would have killed me if it wasn't my birthday. And we were just trying to figure out how we're going to get out of here. And some guy drove us up in his Polaris up to like near the main road. And we were sitting there and I said, "You know what? Give me a minute." And I ran back down in flip-flops, got chased by two pit bulls, slipped the whole way down. I think I fell like 3 times in the like wet clay. And I got to the car and I was like, "I'm going to get out of here." And so I just went into the bushes and then the bush beside me, and I found like bark and twigs and old towels and beer cartons, and I just started putting them under my tires. I think I might have used the floor mats too. That's an old trick. And I would just get myself to a spot where it would start sliding again, and then I would move everything. And I would get myself to another spot, and I would move everything, and I would wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And people were just watching, and they're laughing. They're like, "There's no way you're going to get out of here." Sure enough, I got out, and they were all really impressed. And somebody said to me, they're like, "How'd you get out of here?" And I go, "I'm a redneck from southwestern Pennsylvania." I go, "This was like a Tuesday for us. This was the easiest thing in the world." We got stuck so many times as kids. We didn't have winches. We didn't have anything. We would just get a bunch of guys, push a car, figure out ways to get out. Every once in a while you had to call a tow truck. But for the most part, we didn't have the money to call tow trucks. We just would, and our parents would kill us if they knew we were stuck. So I won't be in Texas. That's the end of that story. I'm not going to be in Fort Worth until we're going to move the date till February 6th. I'm going to come to Texas on February 6th. We're going to do a show at Big Laugh Comedy Club. So if you have tickets, they'll work it out with you. Those tickets will be good probably for February 6th. And I hope to see you all there. One of the things, like I told you, I'm trying to build a community. I'm not doing well on YouTube because Talking Shit was massive. And then we had done a really good job building Wadcast. And I've kind of lost everything because I'm not using the same RSS feed yet. But what I want to do is get the word out there to everyone that I'm back in the podcast space. And I also want to create this community. I'm going to start doing like a lot of shows at ski resorts. I've got Vail coming up. I've got Steamboat. Hopefully Revelstoke. Trying to think. Oh, I'll be up in Tahoe, but I'm not doing shows in Tahoe. But if you I might do some like adventures. Like I'm gonna invite people to like go on runs with me, go on ski trips with me, that kind of stuff. Like come meet me. We'll do podcasts, Q&A, all kinds of stuff. So look out for that stuff. It's gonna be kind of fun. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming along with the whole Shreddie thing. We're gonna do the California 9 this year. I've talked about that a lot. I gotta buckle down with that one right now. California 9's where we're gonna do 9 events. It'll probably be late April, early May this year. Haven't picked a date yet, but probably early May. It depends on Big Bear's schedule or if we can get to Mammoth. We're trying to get an airplane. If somebody wants to sponsor this, we'd love it. What it's going to be is we're going to do 9 events starting at a ski resort here in California to show how amazing the outdoors of California are, that you can do this all in one day. You're going to ski 9 runs, ski or snowboard, 9 runs. I don't care. I don't care if you snow go down on a bike, on a skiing bike, which are so much fun, by the way. Get to the bottom of the run. We then start driving. We drive or fly. Play 9 holes of golf on the way. 9 holes of golf. That should take pretty fast time. You better hurry, haul ass. Get to the ocean, 9 waves. You got to catch 9 waves. Hope we get some waves that day. Then skateboard 9 blocks. 9 blocks on a skateboard. That one's the easiest. Then mountain bike or road bike, whatever your preference, 9 miles. 9 miles. Then you have to swim at the pool 9 laps. 9 laps. That's easy. That's another easy one. Skateboard and swimming are the easiest. Then you're going to have to run 9 kilometers. 9 kilometers is almost 5 miles. So that one will be at the end of the day. That is the last one. You're probably going to be in the dark for that one. And that's why we put that one last, because you can walk it or do whatever. You're going to need to bring a lot of equipment. You're probably going to need to bring a friend to help you out, because you also have to drink 9 beers and eat 9 tacos. So that's the California 9. We're going to do it to raise money for the Malibu has a volunteer firefighting association here that they kind of stay and help out when the real firefighters or the paid firefighters are out trying to stop the wildfire. These guys go and try to stop the houses from burning. And if you look behind me, you can tell we're in an extremely flammable place. So just want to do this to raise money, raise awareness for these guys, and should be a very fun event. That's a lot of it, that I just want to go do these 9 events and show that it can be done in one day. So come with me, be a part of that. Message me if you want to be involved. It's going to be a lot of fun, and look for that. That should be early May. Depends on the snowpack. Who knows? It's been a crazy winter. Texas is getting bombed this week. The East Coast is getting bombed, I believe. Colorado and Utah have just been, it's been like a desert there. It's so depressing to see their ski resorts and see what's been happening. Mammoth's gotten hit hard a couple times, which is great, because they get their, once you get the snowpack, it's just all bonus after that. But Colorado, I feel so bad. I just hope they just start getting bombed. A lot of people buy passes for the year and then don't even get to use them that much with these Icon and Epic passes. And I've got a lot of ski trips planned coming up, which is it's good. I gotta heal up before I go on my ski trips. Yeah, can't go surfing. I'm out of the water for 2 weeks at least. They're going to take the stitches out in another week and a half. Even then, it's just so creepy. There's so much bacteria in the water. You'd think California, like clean water, everything. It's funny where the dirty water is. It's near like the Santa Monica Pier, because there's a lot of seagulls there, because there's a lot of food there. And the seagulls shit, and their shit goes in the water. And just think about getting seagull shit in your cut. Ugh. And then Malibu is full of septic tanks, and when it rains, they overflow. And so you get the people's shit bacteria out in your water and you're swimming through all their feces. Beautiful Malibu. Oh, did I just spit out Paris Hilton's poo? Yeah, that's weird. That's probably going to turn some guys on. They're like, oh, I want to go. Ugh. Let's see. I've been lying in bed for 2 days, doom scrolling, and I realized that's all it is. It's so bad for my ADD brain to doom scroll, and there's so many things that I'm interested in, and oh, it's this one. Oh, it's this one. And I'm just starting to realize it's nothing real to any of it. It's all people like me that are full of shit. It's a lot of full of shit. A lot of narcissism. And a lot of I was I was talking to an agent in this business, in my business, comedy, about the business. And he was like, you got to do this stuff. You got to do this stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do it, And he's like, hey, there used to be 3 flavors of ice cream. Now there's hundreds. Just get with the times. You got to get with it. But what if there was an ice cream place that just had vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry? I mean, that's what In-N-Out does. They just have burgers, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. Why can't I just do that? I've been working so hard on my stand-up comedy to just write good jokes. And I find it so frustrating because all I want to do is craft a joke that I feel like is so good, and then I upload it and it doesn't do anything in the algorithm. And so because it doesn't succeed in the algorithm and it doesn't go viral, I go, well, then it must suck. So then I just throw the joke out. But my worst jokes do really well in the algorithm. So in saying that, I look at these guys that are succeeding on this giant level on the internet, and I'm like, are they hacks? Does their stuff suck? Are they? And I don't want to be the bitter guy that's like, oh, nobody wants to listen to my shit because it's too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that my stuff that I don't like, that I think is hack, that is unoriginal, that is boring, excels on the internet. I have videos that get millions of views. The worst jokes I have. The worst jokes. I have a joke about the Me Too movement that, I joke about hashtag Me Too used to be pound Me Too. It's such a hacky, shitty joke that so many other comedians have it. And because it's parallel thought, because every single person saw that and was like, oh, it's also called Pound Me Too. Pound Me Too. I actually had a comedian, Brigade. Do you know what brigade means? Brigade means to get your followers. He had his audience come after me for that joke. And I was like, go look. They were like, oh, you just posted this. And I was like, yeah, but it's from my special that I recorded years and years ago. And so, it was original when I wrote it. And there is such a thing as parallel thought. But I thought it was really funny that they were all getting angry over the most unoriginal joke in the world. But that video got millions of views, and it's a shit joke. Meanwhile, my joke about metal detectors, nothing. And all these platforms censor the shit out of us, because I just said shit. That don't have to be bleeped. If you talk about drugs, if you talk about sex, if you talk about death, if you talk about, there's words right now that I don't even want to say. I said COVID. They're probably going to ban this whole thing because you're not allowed to say. It's such a weird world of what gets censored. I thought for a second, no joke, that OnlyFans was going to be the outlet for comedians. That OnlyFans comedy was going to be the place for us because it was going to be uncensored, say anything you want, blah, blah, blah. And I did a deal with them, and I did some comedy on there. But they censored us too. They were like, can't talk about children because they don't want to come off as though they're exploiting children. So they don't want anyone joking about children. And half my jokes are because I have kids and I tell jokes about driving my kids to school or blah, blah, blah. You know, it's not like pedophile jokes. But they were like, don't know. So like half my best jokes were eliminated. So like there's really no outlet for comedy right now. I always thought it'd be YouTube, but it's really, really hard. The only place is live comedy. Come out and see us live. You're going to see unadulterated, the best thing in the world. It's where it's meant to be. It was never meant to be on here. It was always meant to be in that little dark and dusty club in a basement somewhere where people can talk about whatever they want to talk about and explore ideas. That's where comedy's meant to be. Not in big theaters, not in big arenas, but more power to the guys that are selling arenas. I'm jealous as a motherfucker that you get to play an arena. I've only played big. I've played I played an arena once, actually, Bryce Jordan Arena in Penn State. But I was on a compilation show where I was the smallest name on the show. And the truth is, it's like, it was fun, but it's way more fun to play like the Comedy Cellar in New York City, or the Comedy Store in La Jolla, or I'm trying to think of a little club, the Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Like these little clubs, when it starts to like go and the crowd's with you and people are involved in it, and it's just so intimate, it's so fun, it's the best way. There's nothing better than that. So if you ever get a chance, go out and see live comedy. It's the only way to see it. My dream would be, hey. My son just came out, and I had to send him away because of COVID. I didn't want him to get near me. Hi, buddy.
Hi, Dada.
I missed you.
I need you too.
I'll come to the window and talk to you through the window, okay? How was school? Good? It was good?
Yeah.
All right. I'll come.
He got a haircut.
Izzy got a haircut?
No, Finny.
Finny. Oh, cool. All right. Well, I'll come talk to you in a little bit.
Jimmy said that he cut like all his hair in the kitchen, so they had to get it repaired.
All right. Well, I'll come see you in a little bit over there. Yeah. Hey, can you let Roxy out? Let Roxy out the other door. She wants to see you guys. All right. I was just interrupted by my cute little son. Oh, man. I realized I tell so many jokes about him. And then I watched the film Adolescence last night. It's not a film. It's a 4-part series on Netflix. I guess I'm late to the party. I think it was a 2025 film, show, drama, miniseries. Mind-blowing. It's single camera, like that Michael Keaton movie with Zach Galifianakis where they follow with one camera. I don't know how they do it, because there's like parts where they like drive home and they get home and they've got to like act with the people outside, and it just, everything hits. But beyond that, the acting in this film or miniseries is so phenomenal. It's like mind-blowing, like, because I don't know how they do it. Did they rehearse the whole film like a play? Because if they did, it's a 4-hour-long play. They're using kids who are so talented because they're able to memorize these lines. And these are intense scenes. Every scene is super intense. There's so much emotion, and it's heartbreaking. I don't want to ruin any of it if you haven't gotten a chance to see it. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And the acting, the guy who created it and stars in it and directs it, he just looks like a thug, and you're like, oh, this guy, no way. You're even amazed that the actor can do what he does. And you're like, no. And then he just doesn't look like the type to be an intellectual. And he's not just an intellectual. He's a genius. This is pure genius. And it is, it's one of those things that comes along once in a while. So if you get a chance, it's really difficult to watch. really, especially if you have kids. But so good, so good. All right, so let me see. What else do I want to talk about before I? I'm making these kind of short. One, I'm like congested, and two, I didn't give myself an outline for today, and I have no guests, so I'm just doing the Bill Burr thing. Do you ever see Bill Burr? I don't know how he does it. He podcasts every week by himself, Monday morning podcast, and Bill's good because he does rants. I try to avoid politics because I obviously have really strong opinions. I also feel like, I don't know, it's like inside baseball or whatever. Like no one really knows what's going on, or so I don't. I just hate being that guy that's just like, hey, the Steelers should fire Tomlin. You know, like I don't know football. Who am I to like give my opinion on that? But I don't know. Trying to be less opinionated, and seems like shit's going crazy around the world, and I want to have an opinion, but no, I don't. Not that I want to have an opinion. I want to be on the right side, and it's like, are you right? Or are you wrong? When do you know? You don't know. Years later, was that better? Was that worse? You know, so I just don't know, and so there was a lot that went on in the news this week, a lot, and I guess I will comment when big things happen. But the new show Shreddie is really going to be me interviewing, and I've been studying guys that are really good at interviewing, and I want to get better at that. I want to stop making it about me. I really want to get away from that and start talking about the other people and listen. Had a conversation with my dad today. It was awesome. For the first time, I didn't try to, my dad's 89. Didn't try to impress him. Didn't try to be like, look what I did or where I am or what I've achieved. I talked to him and he told me stories. And I realized he's 89. I'm not going to get these stories for a long, I got to start banking them. So I was like, and I might have heard this story before, but I wanted to hear it again. I want to lock it in. And he told me a really, really funny couple stories. And I see where I get a lot of my sense of humor from him and what amuses him. But I also asked him if he got in a lot of fist fights as a kid. I wanted to know if my dad had like a temper. And he didn't answer it. But I wanted to know, like, I don't know if he's ever has. Because he didn't really answer it. I, on the other hand, had an awful temper. Thank God I haven't been in a fight in years. I'm trying to think when the last time I got in a fight. Might be hopefully a long time. I mean, I've had a couple where it's almost there. But maybe 20 years? 30 years? I think. Oh, no. In England. I got in a fight in England. But I got jumped. But, you know, when I was a kid, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and we weren't like kids from the wrong side of the tracks. We were upper middle class, and I mean, we were a lot of Catholic kids, Irish Catholics, and probably a lot of drinking, high school drinking. And I would say that that's probably was a lot of the problem, was that we were drinking so much and just like couldn't handle the alcohol. But, you know, we fought in school too. We'd fight like during the day in school or after school, or, you know, and we weren't big fights. No one knew how to fight. There was a lot of talk and then very little fighting. I had Tony Blauer on my show once, who teaches CrossFit striking, I think, and he was telling me that the average street fight lasts 8 seconds. And I think that's probably what most of the ones I was in are when I say a fight. It's a scuffle. You know, a couple sucker punches here. I never sucker punched anyone, but I got sucker punched a couple times. I got a detached retina from one. Got a black eye. Putting a goat in a fraternity house once. Guy punched me for that. But I just wondered where it comes from, like where, and I think it was the drinking, as a kid, because I couldn't ever want to escalate to a fight now. I just realized the ramifications. And also I don't know how to fight. Like I never took jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, and there's guys out there that really know how to fight, and there's guys that have something even stronger than that. They have a gun or a knife. So I don't know. I guess I was looking for trouble as a kid. But I was curious if that was a genetic thing, that came down from my dad. And but lots of fights. I mean, my friends and I, bar brawls, like drunken, again, nothing bad. Couple punches here, 3, 4, 5. Wrestled to the floor. No one really got hurt, thank God. Couple black eyes, bloody noses. That's about it. But those days are over. I don't even want to wrestle my son. He beats me up. He's 6 years old, and I'm always like, hey, watch out! Dad's got stitches. Oh, my neck. Oh, yeah. Hey, my knee. It's always some injury that I have that I'm worried about getting injured worse. So fights are for fools. I think it was D.C. Benny, comedian D.C. Benny used to have a line that he said his grandmother said the way you win every fight is with your legs. You run. I always see the toughest people I've ever seen on the internet all say that. They always say the best way to fight is to walk away. It's that's how you win a fight. Walk away. But I just don't know why I didn't as a kid. My ego was so big, and the alcohol, and I did get beat up by a bunch of guys once. Wasn't bad though. I mean, sometimes though people get in fights, you'll hear of a fight and one person hits another person, they hit the ground and they're dead. So I'm so lucky to have survived all that. And survived, we grew up in a heavy drinking environment where the drunk driving was out of control. And I don't condone it at all. I just don't know why we didn't have the perspective to know how dangerous that was and why we were so high risk. And, I look at kids today and I've got to say, there's an argument that kids aren't socializing because they don't drink, they don't socialize, they don't go out. And then there's this argument yeah, but they're safe. They have more self-care. They don't drink, so they take care of themselves. They don't get in fights. They don't have all the health issues. And so I don't know which one's better. I mean, I think, as my dad used to say my whole life, everything in moderation. And as I would say, no, I need to do it to an extreme. So as my dad was saying moderation, I was like, can I beer bong an entire case of beer tonight? Yeah. My dad would say, why don't you go jog a couple miles? And I would go, no, I think I'm going to go do an ultra marathon. So I've always been a bit of an extremist, and with everything in my life. And that must fall in the ADHD world. I'm in the ADHD algorithm right now reading about it. And I don't know how much is bullshit and how much is just a type of person. When I say bullshit, I'm sure ADHD makes the world go round. There's a certain sect of people that are like this. Now, granted, I did struggle a lot because of my hyperactivity, my lack of focus, but I also have done a lot of amazing things. I've gotten to travel the world and perform with some of the greatest comedians in the world and been on the greatest stages and hung out. I've got a beautiful family. So is it all that bad? I don't know. I think I'd rather have what I have than have this intense focus and calmness and be working, as a software programmer. No offense to you software programmers. you might enjoy what you do. But I'm just saying that this is my therapy. Have you noticed this? I really want responses on this because it's like a one-way street. Like I'm putting this out here. I put clips. I put them up on the internet. I need this buttoned up. This looks better buttoned up. Tell me if this looks better like this. I feel like that's way better. I need feedback. So please hit me up. Instagram, Facebook, MySpace. It's a joke I do on stage. I'm on MySpace. It's truly MySpace. It's just me and Tom. Hit me up. I usually reply. I still have a bunch of fans out there. And I need the feedback because I'm trying to create this community. Again, who I'm looking for that I'm recruiting into my cult. I'm joking when I say cult. I don't want to sound like, I don't even want to say his name. I'm looking for like middle-aged people, men and women, who are just trying to still do it. Still trying to still, you're not going to be the competitive athlete, but you're not lying down and dying. You're still out there. You're still giving 100% of what you got left, and you want to go out kicking and screaming. You're on the back nine of life, and you're going to play it as hard as you played the front nine. In everything from parenting to your work, to your fitness, to your health, to your spirituality even. If it's spirituality that you're into, I want you to do it your best. No, but like that way we're all still growing, we're all still getting better, and I see people that never read and they just stop reading. I'm like, what are you doing? Or they listen to the same music over and over, or eat the same foods. It's like, there's a whole world out there, a giant world. And experience it all before it's over, because I'm telling you, those lights go off. So that's what this is about. This is about, as we transition into the new podcast, we're looking for people like you. So people that want to get out there and get after it. And I was just going to talk about that. That was going to be the last thing I talked about, was not food. Oh, books. I am currently reading, God, I feel terrible. Chernow. I think it's Chernow. Wrote a book about George Washington. I'm not reading it. I'm listening to it. I feel like I talked about this on the last podcast. But I think it's 45 hours long of listening. And it's almost like a textbook. I'm going to be a little critical. The actor they had read it, it's very pompous, pretentious, like, and he can really put you to sleep. But a buddy of mine, name drop Rich Froning from CrossFitter, told me that he was going to do every president. And he was going to do all their biographies. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that too. So I am not even done with Washington, and it's taken me like 6 months because it's unbearable. I mean, it's amazing because Washington is like, talk about a guy who played hard from the beginning to the end. There's like he's an idol. I'm like looking at the guy just like, wow, holy shit. The stories about him and just how hard their life was. But this guy was, the biggest rock star of the time. They put him on a pedestal, and that's why there's statues of him everywhere and monuments and names. And that guy, I think people, as we get farther and farther away from the founding of this country, people forget and they don't study history as much. But holy shit, go back and read about Washington. Holy shit. I mean, the intricacies and the complexities and where he was in his life and how he dealt with slavery and stuff like that. So incredible. I move on to John Adams next, which I think is going to be a little different. I don't know how long that audiobook is. Whew. Hope it's not 45 hours. But yeah, someday I hope I can say I did them all. I'm not going to do Trump because I've read enough books about him. I don't need to know anything else about him that would make him too happy to know that everyone's reading about him. But yeah, so that's it. So this is Talking Shit transitioning into Shreddie. I'm Eddie, and I'll see you out there.